So I know this is not going to be the most flattering video. As you can see, already started. But I actually made a few of these videos. It's been a while dealing with grief. It's been a minute, but I did tell myself that I wanted to continue to come back to this whenever I felt like I should or needed to. Because I feel like it's one of those things that nobody talks about. Nobody talks about, nobody tells you about. I was gonna say there's no books about it. Yes, it is. But, I mean, when you're going through it, are you really thinking about, oh, let me go get this book and read what I should do? Most likely not. Most likely what's gonna happen is you're gonna be looking to certain people, friends, family, etc. Unfortunately, I can't speak for everybody's situation, but I have heard things, common threads when it comes to this. And from my own experience, yeah, without going into too much detail, that has not been the case. Part of me wants to say a lot of stuff, but I'm not even gonna get into that. But needless to say, you won't find no comfort in going to try to go read some book. You're gonna try to find comfort in people. And unfortunately, 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10, they're not gonna be there for you. Whether it's on purpose or whether it's just because they just don't know how. Or, I always think about this line from Bob Marley, he who feels it knows it. So it's one of those things, like, people can logically understand it, but like what it does to you mentally, emotionally, even physically, like, they don't understand because they haven't, most people haven't been through that type of grief. I mean, some have, a lot of people have, but it's like, if you haven't experienced it, and like, I want to say the aftermath, I know that sounds like crazy or extreme, but it's not. Like, just how it affects every aspect of your life moving forward. Like, definitely just the isolation is like, can be unbearable sometimes. Whether it's your own, putting yourself into isolation because you have to, or what have you. And then just once you realize, like, man, people really don't get it. And man, I'm feeling like a burden. Or man, I wish I could just not be feeling these things so heavy all the time. And you do. And people don't get that. And people get tired of it. And I mean, it's just human nature. We all get tired of things. Like, so it's like one of those things where if you're gonna be honest or look at the big picture, you can't even maybe necessarily fault people, but at the same time, your heart don't understand that. Like, you as a person, your soul don't understand that. So, you just be dealing with it, and you trying to figure things out one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 moment at a time. And sometimes those moments can be rough, baby. Like, and only reason I'm, like I said, making this is because I told myself when this whole thing happened almost 2 years ago, like, I was gonna talk about stuff. I was gonna express myself when I felt like I needed to. Not just for me, but because other people go through this and will go through this. And this is one of those things that everybody go through and nobody talks about. And I think that's so crazy. Like, it makes no sense to me. So I just wanted to, if nothing else, it's not one of those, oh, I want people to see me cry, sympathy. No, screw all that. I don't care about none of that. It's just being honest. It's about transparency. It's about getting things off of my soul that I need to, for me. And it's about, like, even if, like, just somebody somewhere feels any type of, like, not feeling bad about themselves or feeling like you did something wrong or something's wrong with you for feeling these things, if me just being honest and showing, like, the ugly truth helps anybody feel, you know, less heavy or less down or less whatever, like, that's why. So, I mean, if I can encourage anything, because it's not like I got all the answers, I'm still looking for a few of them. just be honest with yourself. I say be honest with everybody else too, but depending on where you at, it might not be no people around for you to be honest with. It might just be you trying to figure it out in your own thoughts. But don't lie to yourself. Go through the process. It's hard. It's really hard. Some days I could go days and not cry. Doesn't mean I don't think about things, but not just break down. Another day, it's like today. It's like just feeling everything. So it be that way. So if I could leave any type of advice, just be honest with yourself. Allow yourself some grace. It's not easy. That's something that's very hard for me too. I just, you know, the expectations of how things should be or how you want it to be sometimes will just, you know, have you being too hard on yourself. But that's all basically I wanted to say. I'm still going through it. Ain't nothing changed as far as that's concerned. I'm still going through it. I still think about that day. Randomly, I'll just have things pop into my head and it's not good. And like I said before, sometimes it's alright. Like, you know. But yeah, also, if I could encourage another thing to anybody, if you do have like a good support system or a decent support system, you know, try to lean on them as much as you can or allow to. It does help, you know, to have people or a person there. It might not be everything you want, but you know, you gotta take what you can get when you can get it. And that's just the truth. So I've talked